Remember Charlie Sheen's wild night here in New York? It attracted a lot of attention, and soon after, Capri Anderson's website read, quote, "There really is not much to say, but I just want everyone to know that I'm fine. Please don't believe everything you hear in the news, and don't forget, if you like my website, I would really like it if you became a member. There's a lower monthly price right now." So now is Capri Anderson changing her story. She is here for a GMA exclusive, so let's get right now to George. George?
Thank you, Robin. I am here with Capri Anderson and her attorney, Keith Davidson. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you,
this morning. And these charges, Capri, that are in the complaint you expect to file in Los Angeles Civil Court today are pretty sensational. Assault, false imprisonment, that he grabbed you around the neck, threw a lamp at you, threatened to kill you. That can't have been what you expected when you thought you were going to dinner that night on October 25th. So tell us how this all came about.
It was absolutely not what I expected, and the way it came about was that I received a phone call from my agent offering me an appearance, or if you will, an invitation to a dinner party, a paid appearance.
And how much, $3,500?
It was $3,500, yes. And I never expected that the night would unfold the way it did.
But $3,500 to go to dinner, so you said yes to that, just dinner.
Yes.
And you went to Danielle, the restaurant here in New York. What happened at the dinner?
At dinner was very nice. I met multiple people throughout the evening. Denise Richards came. I spent most of my evening speaking with her, but it was an eventful evening.
But you say in the complaint that over the course of the evening, Mr. Sheen started to drink a lot, drink heavily, and his behavior became more and more louder.
He definitely was growing more intense as the night grew and went on. You know, it's hard to say, being that it was my first time hanging out with him, if that was normal of his everyday behavior or not.
Using racial slurs?
He seemed like a very egotistical
So what was he
person.
saying?
You know, I'm not even really comfortable repeating some of the things that he said because they were that vulgar.
But something that everybody would recognize as a racial slur.
Definitely.
And then he goes on and continues to get up, go to the bathroom, come back several different times. And meanwhile, you're talking to Denise Richards, and at one point she says, "I'm just leaving. I didn't, quote, realize it was going to be a party of floozies." Is that what she said?
She said something along those lines. She was definitely a little bit taken back by the whole evening, I'm sure. I don't think she expected to arrive, and I don't think she expected to be eating amongst all of the guests that she was eating amongst.
But after she left, you all decided to go back to the hotel room with Mr. Sheen.
Initially, we had plans to possibly attend a club or go out for further drinks. There was a large group of people. However, towards the end of the evening, Rick asked me if I could simply please make sure...
A friend of Charlie's.
Yes, a friend of Charlie's. If I could simply please make sure that he gets up to his room and stays in there, because at this point he was fairly intoxicated.
And then you get up to the room with him, and you say that at some point when you got back to the room, you heard him snorting something?
Yes.
What?
I was sitting on the edge of a coffee table, and he was serving us both drinks, and he snorted something. I looked over. I can't tell you exactly what that might have been. There's many drugs that come in.
It was a white powdery substance.
It was a white powdery substance.
But you stay in the room, and at that point, he asks you for a massage. You start to give him a massage. He kisses you. All this continues to go on, correct?
Yes. There was a little bit of romance, if you will. There was mild, you know, in the moment, a lot happened, but...
But you were okay with being there?
I was there willingly, yes, initially.
And then you say here in the complaint he took your dress off.
Yes.
It's still okay. What went wrong?
When I became really uncomfortable was when he put his hands around my neck. But at that point, things began to very rapidly kind of fall apart and just really get out of hand. So that was really when things started to go wrong, and when I felt like I was no longer in a good situation and that I should try my best to leave or get out of there. I started to resist. And as soon as I did that, he let off of me. And I, as quickly as I could, got up and began to walk towards my purse, my dress, and my cellular phone. He started throwing things.
He threw a lamp?
He threw a lamp. That was the first thing he picked up. And he threw it across the room at me. And it was just...
You also wrote that he had a shiny object in his hand? You thought it was a knife?
When he started throwing things, I became very shocked, scared, you know, so I knew at that point the best thing to do would be to try and get myself into a safe place. I went for my cell phone, knowing that I couldn't really grab all of my things. And as I was looking at him taking my cell phone, I was in the midst of also turning around. I was going to go into the bathroom, and I saw him pick something up. I'm not sure if it was an envelope opener, maybe, a knife. I wasn't at that point paying so much attention as much as I was trying to.
So you locked yourself in the bathroom and you called your girlfriend?
I called a friend of mine, yes.
Why not call the police?
I was shocked. Didn't know really what to do.
As you know, his attorneys say that one of the reasons that this sort of got out of control is that you expected to be paid for sex in that room, and that didn't happen.
That's absolutely wrong.
Absolutely wrong. Never discussed payment for sex with Charlie Sheen.
There's absolutely no truth to that whatsoever.
One of the figures that's been reported is $12,000.
No, I was offered $3,500 to attend a dinner party,
And
which
that
I was
it.
never paid at the end of all of this.
You still haven't been paid for that appearance. How did you expect to be paid for that, by the way?
I figured my agent would take care of it.
But if Mr. Sheen's attorney says that you expected to be paid for sex, you're saying that is absolutely untrue.
That is absolutely untrue, yes.
And George, if that were true, that would make Mr. Sheen nothing more than a John. And I'm sure that
No, but it would also say something about your client, of course.
But that just wasn't the case at all. I mean, Miss Anderson, she was invited to go to, she wasn't invited to come to the hotel. I mean, she was invited to go to dinner, and that's where she went. That's where she met Mr. Sheen. That's where the night started. And unfortunately, that's not where the night for Miss Anderson ended.
So you didn't call the police from the bathroom yet. Eventually, the police did get there after the hotel security guards came to the room as well. When the police came to you, as you said on your website there, you told them you were fine.
In the moment, they were asking if I had any significant injuries, which I replied to, I was fine. I was very shaken up in that moment, but the majority of what I told them was that I just wanted to go home.
But according to your report now, he had his hands around your neck, he threw a lamp at you, he threatened to kill you. You don't tell that to the police?
I didn't speak to them much at all. I was very shaken up. I was crying. I was embarrassed that I was in my underwear when they came in initially. The first cop wasn't very nice. I found him to be very condescending. The second officer handed me a robe. It was just a very awkward moment. I was just relieved at that point that there was somebody else there and that I knew then I could go home.
But now we're about a month later and you're filing this complaint in civil court. If Charlie Sheen did this all to you, why not go to the police now? Why not file a criminal complaint?
Well, George, Miss Anderson, she's a victim of abuse at the hands of a very rich and powerful man.
And if it's abuse, that's a crime. Go to the police. Tell them that. File a criminal charge.
As a matter of fact, George, thank you for bringing that up. But one of the things that Miss Anderson, throughout this whole process and just the passage of time, she's going to the police today. She's filing a police report against Mr. Sheen today.
Report.
A criminal report today. So she's going to go to the NYPD and report the action. The process of coming here, speaking to you, the passage of time, hiring a lawyer, that's allowed her to be empowered. And now the initial fear, don't forget, this is a man who is hurling hard objects, a man who is wielding a sharp metallic object in her direction, threatening to kill her.
Well, you know, that is news to me that you're going to file a criminal complaint today. So if you would, I'd ask you if you can stand by,
Sure.
Come back at the start of our next half hour so we can finish this
Great.
conversation.
Thank you, George.
Okay, and let me go now to Sam Champion for the weather.
Hey, good morning, Georgia. And we're going to start with this fog that's in at least 5 states in the district as well. Some pictures are a live shot out of Washington, D.C. will show you visibility isn't really bad there. It's a little bit more than a mile, but we've had reports of visibility way less than a quarter mile, and that's from South Carolina, North Carolina, through Virginia, and all the way in through Delaware today. That'll be around at least till we get some of the sunshine heating things up during the day today and breaking that fog up. There'll be plenty of sunshine and great temperatures from Dallas to 78, to Houston to 79, New Orleans at 77, Tallahassee at 79 degrees. The South is holding on to some great temperatures, even though the North is really picking up some cold air, and it'll come in several chunks across the country during the this week. Seattle's at 32 this morning, and some of that cold air will break away. Chicagoland is out of it today, but from Minnesota into the Dakotas, there's some real cold temperatures here. That will move across Chicago and into the Northeast as we get toward the end of the week. It really makes a difference after Thanksgiving Day what the temperatures will look like over the weekend in the Northeast. That's the weather around the nation. Here's what you can expect this morning.
Good morning. This is ABC 7 meteorologist Tracy Butler. We have showers and thunderstorms across many of the west and northwest suburbs right now. We will see rain here in the city within the next 30 minutes.
All of that weather was brought to you by Chase Freedom. George?
Okay, Sam, thanks. More with Capri Anderson coming up. And next, Kate and William, new details on the royal engagement.